Well, thanks so much for joining us. This is a MeWe Awakening panel. Our theme today is animal communication, animal healing. MeWe fairs, MeWe events. We have events throughout the Northwest and online. We have fairs and we have panels. Each panel has a theme, and we have several practitioners that focus on that specialty. It's free to be here, and let me get some information pasted in the chat for you. It's free to be here, and it's $20 to ask a question, unless you're BIPOC, and then it's $10 to ask a question of the panel. It's so free to be here to listen and learn of everything that we share, learn from the questions and the answers, and it's also a great opportunity to practice your intuition, and in particular to practice your skills at working with animals today. Let's see, and let me get some more information in the chat. So the information I just posted in the chat right now is how you can pay. You can pay on PayPal or you can pay on Venmo, and if those don't work for you, we can talk by phone, text, and I can put something on my Square, so lots of options to pay. We've got a couple people in line already to ask questions. We've got Kendara and Catherine in line. If you'd like to ask a question, feel free to just make a note in the chat too, and then I'll get you in line and you can pay. It's always a popular panel, so lots of people are interested in this. Yeah, we're really excited. It's our fourth or our fifth panel on animals. Maybe it's our fourth one. It's the most popular one. We just have had do this many times. Let's see, what should I say about today? Well, we're going to have the practitioners go through and introduce themselves and talk about their work and how they work with animals. And practitioners, when you introduce yourselves, feel free to share about all that you do, not just the work that you do with animals. And yeah, and then I'll say more before we answer your questions. I will say if you're going to show any photos of your animals, let us know first, because not all the practitioners want to see the photos of your animals first. So yeah, just letting us know would be great. And yeah, maybe that's just, we have tons and tons of events, and I'll put more information about that in the chat, and excited to have you here today. All right, great. Maybe I'll just say, if you really want to ask a question and you don't want to do it publicly and you don't want to have it recorded, that's the opportunity to do a private session with one of the practitioners. I'm going to be putting the information in the chat, which has all the contact info for reaching out to the practitioners. And so you schedule up something private with them. And I think maybe all of us, when I get all the details, we have event specials. So because you're here today, you can either get like a smaller session or a smaller price session with them. So look for all that in the chat. All right, great. And all right, yeah, so someone has a question and a photo. Yeah, it's great. And someone else in line. It's very exciting. All right, well, practitioners, why don't we have you go ahead and start introducing yourselves. Let me, I'll put it on speaker view, and whoever wants to jump in, yeah, go ahead and take, a good 3 minutes or so just to share about who you are and what you do. If you want to share about your history, how you got started doing this, we've got a little bit of time in this event. So go ahead. Who wants to go first? I know, I could call on you. Everyone's so polite. It's great. Who wants to go?
All right, I'll go.
Seeing everyone go. We're like, okay. Let's see. So I think one of you shared first in the Facebook. So why don't we have the other one of you start first for this one, so you know who that is.
Hi, everybody. I'm Cindy McGonagle. I'm a psychic medium and I'm a palmist. That means that I can actually do online readings if you send me a photo of your palms, both right and left. And I've been doing palmistry for, I always say, over 30 years. But anyway, I also read cards. And I am very grateful to be part of this wonderful panel. Each of us here have lots to offer you as you ask us our questions. And we also work as a team intuitively, and you'll see that through the readings. I encourage you to step forward and ask the questions because you have our undivided attention. Also, I live in India, which is just outside of Palm Springs, and I am currently a volunteer. They call at an no-kill animal shelter, where I'm using my psychic medium skills. What I do is I visit each animal in the shelter and I give it a Reiki energy with my heart. And then I ask it what it would really like to communicate to its future forever home. And so I write those down in like a doctor would, and I share the notes with the people at the shelter to help each animal find their forever home. And I feel very grateful to be able to offer that service. I also help people who have lost pets and need a bridge of light to go back to communicate with your animals. I can also do remote Reiki with those of you who are in need of some psychic healing as well. So I thank you very much, and it's my pleasure to be here tonight. Thank you. Again, cindymcgonagle.com.
Thanks, Cindy. All right, great. Who else was? Oh, and I should say too that while the theme today is animal communication and animal healing, we are able to work on a whole range of topics. So you're welcome to ask a question that's not about animals. That's possible. But the specialty today that we have gathered is working with animals. All right, great. Who else wants to go?
Oh, hi, welcome. I'm Donna Sauer. I have a degree in biology. I taught medical sciences at university for 30 years. I also follow Lakota healing traditions, and I'm a Reiki master. My work with the animals is with communication with them. I also do in medical intuitive readings on them for their health and their behavior. I help them adjust to trauma or changes in their families. And I also talk with them after they've crossed over to bring messages and or things that they want their guardians to know. I also help the guardian to understand what the divine purpose was in the animal being with them during their lifetime, what they were achieving together in their spiritual development. And I also do doula work, which means that I help people prepare for their animals crossing and after the animal has crossed. I work remotely, but in the energy world, as all of the people on the panel here can tell you, that doesn't mean anything. Energy is energy. And so I hope that you'll come in tonight. As somebody just said, everybody here is supportive of you, and we really want to help with you and your animal. I also might mention that I do a lot of work on my own, communicating with wild animals and pets, from horses to snakes to iguanas or hamsters. So whatever you have in your family, it's fun to talk with them. Okay, enjoy.
Thanks so much, Donna. All right, great. Who else wants to jump in?
My name is Susy Parker Goins. I'm with Blue Lightning Healing. I am a channel, so divine comes through me to talk to you. I connect with spirit guides and we have conversations. You're given tools and techniques and perspectives to help you, even able to connect with your dog. I'm not actually going to rough dog stuff, but you know, I can convey these images to you. I'm also a Reiki master, so if there's any energy healing required, I can do that, help you remove blockages between you and your pet. And there's even sometimes blockages caused by past lives, and animals will have past lives with you also, so we can look at those and see what goes on. You can find my website at bluelightninghealing.com. I also have podcasts on several different platforms called Blue Lightning Healing Meditations. It's not directly associated with pets, but it is providing you tools for your own spiritual growth. I'm also on Facebook, and I've got a special going here, 45 minutes for $30. Wait a minute, 30 minutes for $45 and 60 minutes for $75 if you tell me I met you through the fair. I'm looking forward to another really enlightening and exciting session today. So thanks so much.
Great. Thanks so much, Susie. All right. Who else wants to introduce themselves?
I will go. Hi, everybody. It's so great to see everybody. I'm Carolyn Osborn. I'm an energy intuitive. My business is Chiron Energy Medicine, and I work with both people and animals. I am a energy medicine practitioner with several different modalities. I am a certified medical intuitive and animal communicator. And my specialty is, besides working with the animals, is helping the animals and the people connect and work together, because very often what is going on with the animal is very often going on with their person. And so it's helpful to balance the person as well as the animal to help truly resolve what's going on. I also am able to talk to the animals to help you either before they cross or after they cross, to find out what is going on. It's a very healing and helpful scenario to get that kind of closure and connection happening. I work with horses as well as most domestic animals. I do a lot with the horses, besides just the healing and communication, but also performance with their rider and horse. So if you know of anybody with a horse or yourself, it's great to have that connection improved energetically as well. And I do all my work over Zoom and distance work, as everyone has said. And if you have any other questions, let me know. I'm offering a 20% discount on my website, which is www.chironenergymedicine.com. Chiron is CHIRON. And I would love to talk to you and answer any questions as well. Thank you very much and have a great day today.
Well,
Thanks
hi.
so much. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, my name is Denise Dunleavy, and I'm an animal communicator and a certified animal massage practitioner. I can unfortunately only do the massage part in Portland, Oregon area, but I love doing remote animal readings. And I've also had the opportunity to talk to some animals, for instance, alpacas, turtles. They all have something to say. So a few people had mentioned that, and I'm excited to be able to talk to your animals today. I also work with people, and as Carolyn mentioned, I have started some animal communication readings, which actually turned into more readings about the human. And that is just the nature of how they work together, how intertwined our energy is.
Mm-hmm.
I am offering a discount today as well. I have a coupon code MeWe, and you can schedule individual appointments on my website at intuitivedenise.com. And I am excited to read for you today and happy to do a longer reading later if that's required. Thank you.
Great, great. I'm totally not tracking. Now, have all of you gone at this point? Yeah, okay, great. So I'm Laureli Shimayo. I'm an intuitive eye reader, body psychology coach. I might be able to read a little bit in the eyes of your pets, but that's not my specialty. So I'm mostly here just holding space for the panel, helping support the panel happen today. I was a scientist and had no idea that I was doing anything intuitive. So like a bit of a long journey for me opening. I practiced my work as a coach first before I started realizing that I was doing the same kind of thing that all these practitioners are doing, of like having just sort of holding space for information to come in through ways that science doesn't typically recognize as happens. Yeah, so in your eyes, I translate what I see as a set of archetypes. So I'm reading your soul, what your soul purpose is, and I can answer questions on how to express your soul in this world, on this plane. So career path, who you work for, who you work with, how to get along with the people in your life, and a romantic relationship, right? How to get along better with your family. Are you in the right family? How to support your kids and empower your kids. If you're single, I use this work for matchmaking. I definitely can have comments and make comments about people and the animals in their life and whether their energies are similar. I won't know that there's a soul connection besides just the similarity, and I'm sure others on the panel will say things like that. Yeah, so I definitely too, I say sometimes the challenges that happen in animals, it's really a reflection of what's happening with the person. So I might be able to see something in the person too, and the connections there. Yeah, and just I've had animals in my life as well, and so just all the things I know from the animals in my life. And my partner has a dog and 2 cats, and so I regularly have some animals with me. And then I'm taking care of a dog right now, and so she's in the room with me right now, resting. And we had great fun playing today, going on a walk, and sharing her with other people in my life, in a safe COVID way, so that we all get to experience the joy of our animals. That's a little bit about me. And yeah, so I'm so excited to be here today. And I gotta say, just looking at the photos of the people that are here, whoever Adrian is, isn't that a beautiful image? Can you all see the image that she's got on hers? Wow, it's I can't think of what it's called, but how the gemstones are often arranged in a particular pattern. So she's got all kinds of nature components and stones and all that. Like, it is beautiful. Crystal grid, yes, and it's a nature grid. It's got crystals and nature in it. It is beautiful. Just totally inspires me for all kinds of things. All right, more things. We have a panel on crystal healing coming up too, so that is beautiful. Let's see. Well, let's see. So we're here to answer your questions. Oh, and Daniel asked a general question. He asked, let's go find it. Can anyone speak to communicating with and or assisting locating lost runaway pets? So practitioners, do y'all want to say anything about that? If there are a few general questions like that, this is a great time for us to answer those before we dive into people's specific questions. Yeah, go ahead. Whoever wants to speak to that, go ahead, Donna, or yeah. We can't hear you, Donna. Sorry, you're muted.
Sorry. I have done lost, misplaced pets in the past, and sometimes it's successful and sometimes not. There are a couple of people in the United States that do that specifically, and they're really good at it. So I usually try to send my client over to them because they're so much more specific. One of the problems with doing lost animals is, number one, they move. So what you might see or douse for on a map can be okay for that minute, but in a half an hour, if a dog chases them or something, they completely move someplace else. And sometimes they're stolen, so then that gives you a whole other thing. It's really difficult. So like I say, I do it, but I'm not that great at it. Okay.
Who else does anyone else want to say anything about that? Practitioners? It's okay if no one else has anything to say about that.
I will just say something really briefly. I generally don't do that, and I think there are some animal communicators that don't, and partly it's because it's very emotionally charged. And when you really want a certain outcome, it's hard to be neutral enough to get clear information. At least it is for me. That I know how horrible it would be to have a missing pet, and so I think that anxiety kind of gets in the way. So I definitely recommend seeking out someone that specifically focuses in that. They're probably more trained to do that.
Okay, great. And I know that there's another question came in, another general question about how all this works. And I'm just practitioner. Does anyone else have any question or comment to make about lost pets? Go ahead.
I just wanted to add one other thing is that oftentimes, like I had a lady that was missing her Chihuahua, which is in the backyard. And I saw an image of a hawk grabbing it. And I said that to her. And it's really common for the guardians of the animals. She says, oh, I kind of thought that's what happened. So they often have an intuition of their own as to what happened. So it helps if you can just bring that up and get them to understand what you're seeing. So
great. Anything else about lost pets? Lost animals? Okay. So we got a question, and then is it okay to ask about like someone else's cat, or can you only ask about your own? So I think that you can ask about anything. If for some reason like the panel is coming up with that it's not okay for us to answer, we will refund your money. But chances are like that there's a reason why the pet is asking you to ask a question, and so chances are it's open, and we'll find out. Yeah. And everyone on the panel feel good about my answer there? Anything else you want to say about that? Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm kind of sticky about that. I really like the owner of the pet to give permission for the reading, just from an ethical standpoint.
Sure. So then the advice would be for the person to text the owner and see if they have permission to ask, like something like that. Yeah. So we know who asked that question. So yeah, maybe you just reach out and see if you have permission. That'd be great. All right. It's great. We all work with different approaches, and so my general approach, it's kind of convenient, is that the person's soul energy, if they don't want me to read them, they won't let me. So if I can't see something, maybe that's because I don't have permission. And so in that way, I allow myself to see what I see. And yeah. So, all right. Great. Well, let's see. Are there any other general questions? Because we could take another couple of minutes and answer any general questions about kind of animal healing or animal communication, or maybe just from all of you from listening to each other. Are there any topics that we cover that no one has touched on at all that's relevant to the theme? Any of you want to share? Anything else? No, and lots of stuff will come out in the questions. So the way this works is as I put in the chat, it's free to be here and listen and learn, and it's $20 to ask a question of the panel. If you're BIPOC, it's $10. Yeah, and we have interpreters come to some of our events. If for some reason you want to make a donation for the interpreter for another event that we're doing one for divination on the 11th. We will take donations for that today too. So you can just make a small payment and write that it's for the interpreter, and we will save it for the 11th. So when you ask a question, for those of you that are choosing to ask a question of the panel, you'll ask a question and let more people in. We may go deeper than you intend for us to go. We may start talking about your life and not your animal's life, or something else about your romantic relationship that we think is related to your pet. Anything we talk about that you don't want us to talk about here, keeping in mind that this is recorded and this will be public, let us know, please. Like, let us know in the beginning if there's some area you don't want us to go in, or you can write it in the chat and then it's not even in the recording, or just unmute and tell us, wave your hands, write in the chat, whatever it is that we're doing that might not be honoring of you, please let us know, because our aim is to honor you with all that we do today. We believe that everyone is intuitive, and in particular, because you've come here today, you probably know that. You're someone who's definitely more open. So if something comes through for you when someone asks a question, we request that you keep the attention up on the panel, maybe write down what comes through for you, because often what arrives floats away. And then if you want to, reach out to the person after they finish hearing from us and see if they want to hear what came through for you. Please honor whatever they share. They might be full after hearing everything from us, and just know that it came through for you for some reason. It doesn't have to be to share with them. And I invite you to learn from everything that is shared today, from the questions that are asked, the answers that are given. It's a great opportunity to practice your own intuition and see like what answers arise for you, and do we say those kinds of things? And it may be that something comes through you too that even is something new and different than what we see. So yeah, it's just a great opportunity to practice and see what's here for you. Yeah, and just to see how any of the learning applies to you in your own life. All right, I think we're all set. We've got 3 people in line right now for questions. And we're going to be here, let's see, so we're going to be here until I think it's 5 p.m. Pacific time, 8 p.m. Eastern time today. So yeah, we've got some time. We've got Kendara, then Catherine, and then Barbara in line. And I just want to say again, some of the practitioners do not want to see photos of your animal. So please let us know if you're going to share something. So if someone doesn't want to see, they don't look. All right, great. I think anything else anyone think of before we get started? And just a few people joined us. It's a MeWe Awakening panel on animal communication, animal healing. I'll put information again in the chat about how to pay, and I'll put the contact info for the practitioners. They all have event specials too. So if you'd like to do a session in private, not recorded and posted on the web, or you just want to meet and go deeper with them, all the information is there, and you can see their event special. And we've got a question. It's great. So Kathy, it's your first time that you're here. So I'll put the information in the chat again, or it's if you were here for a little bit, it's right up above. You can just pay on PayPal or Venmo, or you can reach out to me and I can put a square on my phone. And yeah, so $20 or $10 to ask a question. And you'll get a better sense too as we go and we start answering. And I'll say too, we talked about some general things before, and when you ask a question, if you ask something very specific about an animal in your life or something about you connected to animals, it's much more fun for us to dig in and play with something that's real and deep right here. All right, great. All right, so Kendara, if you are ready, you're welcome to go first.
Hi, I'm so ready. Thank you all. I've got my girl on my lap. I'd love to show a picture of her if that's okay. Her name's Gracie May, and I'm not prejudiced, but she's the most beautiful cat in the world. So if you can share the screen, can I do that? Because it's
yeah, and let's see, I can probably pin you. Let me see, where's the, let me change the setting, and then I can pin you so everyone can see you. And oops.
And I thought it was nice of her to jump on my lap so that she could participate.
Yeah, that's great. So everyone can see her. Yeah, so you can just tip the screen down or bring a photo of her up.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, just
maybe. I'm going to hold her up. I hope she doesn't get
okay, yeah.
This, everybody, is my beautiful girl, Gracie May. And she's my wonderful 6-year-old tuxedo. And I'm madly in love with her, but she's been a thorn in my side lately. So I do have specific questions. And if she doesn't come through, that's okay. But I've had her about a year. I got her when her other person died, and it was quite traumatic to her. About 3 months ago, she started peeing outside the litter box, and we went to the vet, of course, and she doesn't have anything. So the vet recommended some very mild medication. I've been leaving her in the bathroom just at night, but she seems to be better with the Feel Away, the spray. So I guess I want to know what she
Sorry,
wants.
what did you say? She seems to be better with what?
There's a spray you can put, it's called Feel Away, and it's like pheromones and it calms them down a little. So I want to know why she's peeing outside the litter box. Can I let her sleep outside the bathroom? And her mom, Linda, who died. We don't need to know all of this. These are just different questions and what she wants me to know. But anything that comes up is most appreciated. So thank you.
All right, great. Practitioners, I'm fine if you jump in whatever order you want to. Let's go ahead.
I'll go.
Thank you.
Can I ask how the other person died?
She had cancer, but from what I understand, she was doing really badly. And I also understand that when they came to take her, the cat was in the house. And they had an incredible bonding. They were really close. Her name was Linda. You need to know that.
And has anybody ever sat down with the cat and talked to him about what happened?
I don't think they did, to be honest with you. That's a really good question. I don't think they did. I'll periodically, say I know she loved her mom and things, but I don't. Her mom did come and visit a couple times after that happened, but that got resolved. But I don't know if anyone did sit down and really talk to her about it.
Okay, yeah, so Donna's done for right now. Susie, go ahead.
Okay. When Donna asked if Gracie May had been told about it, I agree that Gracie May is kind of in a state of fear right now.
Aww.
She's finally, where are you? There we go. Okay. She's in a state of fear, and so actually, Kendara, you can talk to her about it while Linda may show up. Linda will show up to support you and say, yeah, this is true, and assure her that she's safe and she doesn't need to be that scared. And then you can redirect her, show her, mentally connect with the cat and say, this is where you go. You don't need to push any boundaries. I think that was part of it, is that she's pushing some boundaries. Are you going to let go of me like Linda did? And it's like, no.
It would
So
make a lot of sense.
Okay, cool.
Especially because it was just about a year ago that this happened. So thank you. That's very helpful.
Okay, good.
And Kendara, this is Carolyn here. I'm also picking up that there's a lot of confusion and grief as well, because again, all of a sudden her mom has kind of disappeared.
Yeah.
She's not sure what's happened. So she needs some emotional release to help her redirect and to help her to understand that, her mom has passed or, moved on, and that she is now with you and you are her new mom, and it's okay. And that's, one of the things about energy work and things like that, it's helpful to shift and clear that energy pattern out so that she can be free. But she just needs to kind of have that shift, because she's still stuck in, well, is she coming back? Am I going to be going there? And then confused. So
thank you. Well, everybody, that's so incredibly helpful.
You're welcome. Thank you.
I just add something too, that I agree. She didn't really know quite why Linda left. I do think, I don't think that necessarily keeping her in one room overnight, I don't think you need to do that. I don't think she really knows why. I don't think the litter box issue, I feel like it was just a way of acting out or getting your attention. I don't think it's going to be a long-term issue. And like, as they've said, once you clear some of this energy and explain to her what happened, I don't think that's going to be a problem.
Oh, That's so, thank you so much. Because I feel bad having her in the bathroom. So, okay, thank you. I'm so glad I contacted you folks. She
I can
says
say-
thank you too.
Can I just add on top of that, that
Please.
I dealt with a cat that he had been 12 years with his owner, and there was a fire and the owner died, and it was just very, very traumatic. And I was working with the guardians that adopted him, and cats are very, very slow to, it took him about 6 months before he even came out from underneath the bed, started purring with them, you know, and I talked with him the whole time, but he was just very like, where am I? What's going on? Where am I going next? So I think it's really important to talk to her and explain to her where she is, but it's coming up to me like PTSD, like it just welling up in her. She held it all in all this time.
Yeah.
She adapted, she ate, and then all of a sudden now she's going, oh my gosh, you know, is this for real? Where am I? So it's really important that you talk with her. I mean, we can do the healing, the energy healing outside of this panel for you if that's what you want. But really, she would respond
to talk to
best.
her.
And one other, just to add to what Donna was saying is, you know, you can use images to help support her. So like when you're talking to her, show her that this is your home. This is her mom. This is her forever place. This is where she's staying.
I love that.
And that she's protected and she's safe and she's not going to be going anywhere else. And if you can kind of visualize in your own mind and share with that to her, that will help give her something to hold on to.
Thank you. This
Okay,
is great.
I just want to add one thing. And so if Gracie says to me, and this may, you know, floor the other people on the panel, something like, I hate that litter box. Okay. So she wants a different litter box. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And
it's not the litter, it's a litter box. Okay.
And the thing about it is you keep it immaculately clean, correct?
I do. Oh, of course. I don't mean of course. Yeah, I do.
Okay, that's good. And then she also says that she loves you very much.
I love her too. Oh, okay. We'll take the top off the covered litter box. She wants it clean though, doesn't she?
She says excellent to take that cover off. Mm-hmm.
Wow. Thank you.
Yeah, it feels too confining.
Oh, it's totally confined.
Yeah.
I shouldn't laugh. I'm not the one who has to use it. This is really helpful.
Yeah, I was going to say, I just, you sent me some photos earlier, and I definitely think she has the artisan talent, which is about, the important thing is about sensual pleasure and also energy. And so I didn't know if it was the litter, but the box makes a lot of sense too. So she cares about the beauty and the elegance of where she is. She does have like a high sense of herself, like in a good way. So she wants it to be the way she wants it, and strong opinions. So ask her about her opinions about things. So it sounds like the room that the box is in and the cover makes a lot of sense, and the color and the energy of the room, like all those things matter, you know, about everywhere that she is in the house and where she, you know, where she lays down, and like all those things really matter to her. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. That's why whenever I take the lid off to start cleaning it, she goes over and sits in the litter box. Okay. I think she's trying to tell me something. You guys, you're all amazing. Thank you so much. That helps enormously. I'm really glad we came.
Great. Thanks so much. All right, sweet. All right. Thanks, Kendara. By the way, I want to say Kendara is one of our practitioners too. That's why I was saying that Kendara can talk to her. She totally can. And it's great. We all have our specialties. So it's great that practitioners, we all support each other and go to each other for things too. Lovely. All right, great. Let's see. So Catherine, you are ready. You are next in line.
Hey, everybody. Thank you so much for today. You're all amazing. I'm going to have to do a follow-up session with all of you. My question is about a dog named Lucy, and she's a yellow lab, and I have a photo of her. So shall I hold up the photo first, Laureli?
Yep, go ahead.
All right.
Oh, we can, because you have a background on, we can't see. Oh, there we go. We can see her a bit now. Yeah.
Can you see her? Okay. Lucy.
Yeah.
Aww.
Should I hold it up longer, or was that good enough?
I know I got to look. Did I just need to see again?
Her name? What's her name again?
Lucy. I spent 5 years as Lucy's companion, as a live-in pet sitter, full-time live-in pet sitter, because her owners were constantly traveling. And from the moment I moved in there, I had a bond and an instant magic with this dog. I've had dozens of dogs and pets at 100 dogs, but never had a connection like I had with Lucy. It's too long here to cite all the healings and miracles that happened with her, but I was with her for 5 years. She transitioned 3 years ago. And ever since she transitioned, constantly in my dreams. And a few weeks ago, I stopped at her gravesite where her ashes are buried and had a totally cosmic mystical experience. Too long to explain here. I think you get the gist of what I'm saying. I know there's a connection. My question is there any special message from Lucy that you might be able to pick up at this time? Was that indeed her at the gravesite when I had an incredible experience? And is she with me? Is she still with me, looking over me? It feels very much so, but sometimes we know, but we need confirmation. And if there are any messages that you might be able to pick up in this kind of setting.
Great. Thanks so much for your question. And yeah, that's beautiful to hear your story. Susy is in line with an answer for you.
Catherine, just before you said it, that's what I got, was that this is confirmation. Everything you're thinking is true. So first off, give yourself credit for being that empathic and that intuitive about it. The message I received from her is that she is so grateful for that time she spent with you, because you gave her a center point, that one point of grounding that assured her she was loved, even though her owners, her guardians would go away. She always had you to keep her centered, and she felt incredibly safe with you. So she's just got all this gratitude spilling out for you, and she wants to play with you in your dreams and go, do all those puppy things with you. But that's very strongly what I got. So well done. Thank you.
Great. My sense too, I would say you both probably have the server talent. It's about love, intimacy, and deep connection. So in that way, your souls are similar. So that's part of the connection that I see with both of you too.
I'm going to just pipe in just a little bit. I get a message from your beloved that I sleep with you at night and make you turn over by kicking you.
Yes,
I'm
she would
also,
do that. Yes.
Catherine, so I'm picking up that she's incredibly grateful also. That was the first thing I was getting. And she wants you to know that she loves what you are doing in helping other animals and by your pet sitting and doing all of this. And that's a very great, gracious job and support that so many animals need. And she wants to support you in that and wants you to continue, because she feels that really helps all these other animals feel safe and comfortable. And you're really doing that for a lot of animals, not just her. And she does feel like, I'm picking up that you guys may have actually had a life before together. And so that's why that connection is so strong.
Thank you. Thank you.
So I would second that. I think there's a deep soul connection there. She felt closer to you than she did to her owners. And the first thing that came through to me was that she misses you. And so she's coming to you in your dreams, because you can still be together that way. And I feel like she's bringing up adventures. Did you take her to do things that maybe her owners didn't, either like hikes or taking her to new places? Did you guys do that?
Yes, Denise. Labs are water dogs, and they never wanted her to get wet or dirty. So I would take her to the beach and take her to the lake and take her swimming and let her get all muddy and dirty and be a dog. And
So she she is remembering those with you in your dreams. That's what she was telling me, adventures. And I think the message to you is to keep adventuring, even though she can't go with you. And I do think that you'll meet her again because you have this deep soul connection. I think that her soul will continue to keep coming through to you, possibly in another physical form.
Thank you very much. I will say, I don't want to take up too much of the time here, but when her owners were back and I lived in a guest house right next door on property, they would wave her favorite treats and they could not get her to come home. And in all kinds of weather at night and rainstorms, she would run over to my place. And if I was gone again, she would sit outside my door days until I came home. So it was a very magical bond. And some of the things have been prophetic. She's given me warnings. So I have no doubt there's a communication there, but you're the expert. So, you know, I just want to get your confirmation on that. Thank you so much.
Well, don't doubt yourself. You know more than you think you do, and especially in this aspect. So trust yourself.
Yeah, it's great.
Thank you.
She clearly was more your dog.
Catherine?
Yes. Thank you.
What I was getting was that she's coming to you and she's around you all the time. I got the information that she actually, of course, you know, animals create the situation that they want to be in. So she created being with you. She set that up so that you would be with her. But she's saying that one of the reasons that she wanted to be with you while she was here on Earth was you had some situations or healings that you needed to do, and she wanted to be there to guide you, support you, and help you to aid you to get through those. And she's saying that she's still around you all the time. I mean, constantly. You may see her in your dreams, but she's actually like kind of, you're tripping over her with your feet. And she wants to stay around you because she's still bringing you strength. But the other thing that she wants you to do is not ever to grieve about her leaving. That's the one message that she's sending. She said, skip the grief. And what she wants you to do is, she's showing me hopping, skipping, laughing, jumping, going through water. But she wants you to, anytime that you think of her, to always remember it in a joyful way, because she said that love that you shared is forever. It will never disappear. It's forever. So she wants you to keep that in your heart, that it's the joy of being with her, and please let go of any sadness or grief at her passing.
Thank you.
Great. Practitioners, go ahead. Someone else has something to share. All right. Catherine, did you have any other questions as part of this?
No, that's it. One last thing, whenever I sing her favorite song, I used to sing to her every morning, it feels like she's right there. So there's something about the song that brings her right there. It's like she responds to it. So everything you've said really resonates. So I will definitely follow up and do a longer reading on Lucy, because there's a lot more about her healings and miracles. And yes, I think it was Denise who said there was a process. I was doing inner child healing, and she really helped me around the corner. So everything all of you said is so true, and thank you for all your feedback.
Great. I think Susy had something else to share too. Susy, if you do, go ahead.
Catherine, it wasn't so much the song, but the act of singing. There's the added effort that is required, the control that is intrinsic to the act of singing. It was that you were able or willing to make that connection with her, because music has frequency and all that. And so she's just like, oh, this is so
Right.
great. Keep going. So yeah, and there's definitely past life connections there. I got a blip from one of Egypt. And so you two have been traveling all kinds of journeys together, working on healing for each other. So it's, yeah, you're spot on. Keep going. And I agree that celebrating the joy that she brought you and that you brought her is what's going to keep that connection strong and flowing.
That's beautiful. Thank you so much.
Mhm.
Great. Thank you so
All
much,
right. Well, that was great.
Thank you
Very much.
Catherine, and all the practitioners. Yeah, it's great. Great. All right, Barbara. Where's Barbara?
Hi.
Right, great.
You know, I just have a question about our.
Oh, you just went mute. Okay, go ahead.
Okay.
Again.
My husband found her about 10 years ago in kind of dire straits, and we were just kind of wondering, what is her story before he found her?
We didn't really hear the her. Who is her? Who is she?
Lily is our kitty, Lily. And Merlin, my husband, found her all beat up in our raspberry bushes in Plains, Montana. And she's just a really sweet but injured soul. And we just always have wondered what happened to her.
I know sometimes practitioners want to know like the color or anything like that. Practitioners
Oh,
don't know any of that
she's
matters.
a black and white long-haired kitty. I would go get her, but she didn't like to be held a whole lot.
That's
Yeah.
fine. That's fine. Yeah, you don't have to go get her. All right, Susie's ready. Go ahead, Susie.
Yeah, Barbara, I got that that she was hurt. She was physically beaten up and tossed aside.
Yeah.
But I'm also getting that she's like, I don't want to go back there. It's knowing that you found her and that you have taken her in. She's still an injured soul, but with your love and care, you're going to help her regain trust. So that's why she's so shy, is that she doesn't trust anybody, and you have been working to help rebuild that trust. It's going to be trust with you, not necessarily with anyone else, and that's all right. You're going to help her rebuild her soul, and also in return, she's going to show you that you do in fact have an impact on other beings, whether they're in human body or in fur or wings or even plants. So that's that connection you two have, is that soul contract you each have, is to help each other learn what love and trust and healing is.
Yeah.
I'm just going to second that. And I got that Lily was actually part of one of 5 cats, and she was thrown into the bush and abandoned. And so, yeah, and like a lot of us who have had kind of similar situations where we've been abandoned in our life, we have to just overcome it with love. And she just wants to let you know again that she truly, truly loves you and all that you've done. And by the way, she hates the smell of raspberries. So don't bring raspberries to the house.
No, we don't have any raspberry bushes anymore. She was it took my husband days and days to catch her and to bring her in, even though her foot was dangling and she was all beat up. She was a tough old girl, but she is very shy and doesn't trust hardly anybody else on the planet. She mostly trusts my husband. I know she loves me, but there's been other issues why we've had a distant relationship. Usually with kitties, they bond right to me, but there were other kitties here that didn't like me to pay attention to her, so they would beat up on her if I did. So we kind of had to dance around that a little bit. But she is very beloved, and we take good care of her. And we just always wondered what her story was, because she rescued my husband and he rescued her.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to say, I was getting something about being hurt by another animal. And And what I heard was they turned on me. So it could have been some of the litter that she was with, or it could be her. You mentioned that there were some other cats at your house, but she feels like they kind of turned against her. So it was hard to really trust. And I think, I don't get the feeling that she's really going to come around and all of a sudden be a cat that likes to be held or anything like that. But she knows that she's safe now, and she's very thankful for that. And she does love you. And I'm getting that she shows, does she play with toys or anything like that?
A little bit, not as much as the other ones, but she's getting older now. You know,
Yeah.
she's probably 10, 11 years old now.
I feel like the way that she would bond is with something in between you. Like if you were to play with something, that's her way of showing her affection, because she doesn't like the physical touch.
Yeah, she's a real sweetie pie. We feel like maybe she got where we used to live, where she was found. They would use young cats to train their dogs to chase mountain lions. That's what we think happened to her.
That would make sense. I definitely got the feeling that it was another animal.
Yeah, that's what we've always wondered about her. And like I said, she's just the sweetest little thing, and she's tougher than she seems because she's so timid, you know. But she just would turn around, you know. She does like something. She's a riot. I just love her. She's a sweetie pie. She really is, you know.
Yeah, I'm getting that she's an incredibly strong soul. She's got an iron will there, and she is surviving in spite of her size and whatever's happened to her. But also, if you and your husband ask her, just kind of give her permission to let go of those old experiences and allow her to say, okay, you don't need to carry that around with you anymore. We are here for you. And, you know, we're going to protect you. You are safe. As they said, you know, everyone was saying she does feel safe, but giving her that permission to do that can help, you know, her to say, okay, I can really do this. And just keep sending her that love and that protection around her. And also visualize like her and the other kitties as a unified whole. So they're part of the same group. So there's not that separation between them. And if she can start to feel like she's part of the pack and part of the family, hopefully she can start to gradually feel like she's part of them and feel more comfortable. And the other cats will also start to feel like she is part of the family still.
I think we have a chance with these new kitties. I have some young kitties now, and they're young boys, but they're kittens, and so they're very active, and she's not quite that active. But they play with her, they chase her and stuff, but not to be mean. That's just what they do. And so and she doesn't know how to play with other kitties. But I think she's a lot happier now with these other kitties. Yeah. And she, as much as she can allow, I think she has you know, kind of integrated a little bit more. But we'll keep telling her that it's okay, and you know, just keep loving on her. She's a sweet.
Well, her energy is just so adorable, and she is such a love, and she loves your husband. Yes, she is definitely his cat, and in her mind, he is her savior and her protector.
She is totally devoted to Merlin. My husband used to go for a show, and he'd be gone for like 3.5 weeks, and she would mope and mope and mope. And now, you know, she is totally devoted to him. She is totally devoted to him. And he is totally devoted to her too, let me tell you.
Right. They have quite the love bond there between the two.
Yeah. Well, we love all of our kitties, but those guys have a special bond. They really do. Yeah.
Right. And she loves you too. I mean, it's not that she doesn't love you, but it's a different dynamic with him.
I understand, and I understand where it comes from. So I know her and I have our relationship too, and it's good. Yeah. It's fun. But I thank you for giving me insight to her. We just always, you know, wondered, but that kind of confirms what we suspected happened with her. Yeah.
Barbara?
Yes.
I want to just add a couple of things. I agree with whoever said about another animal. And the thing I saw immediately was like a coyote had grabbed her.
Oh,
That's what I saw. I mean, I'm just saying that's what I saw. But what I wanted to say was that it's really interesting. It's the second animal I've done in the last couple of days. She does not want to rehash that. You know how, with people, they say, you have to go through your trauma and relive it and talk about it. She said, no, it's gone, it's done. I don't want to think about it. It's over. Please don't think about it. So I agree with what Carolyn is saying. You need to take that out of your mind and dwell on any what I call non-positive images, non-positive energy for her. Picture her only as you want her, as calm, quiet, reserved, okay, that's fine. But it's really important for you not to even try to remember that, because that interferes with her cutting it off. She doesn't want to have anything to do with that anymore.
She would be a hard ass that would just move on. She would be.
Yeah. But if you think about it, or you try to figure it out, you're still bringing that non-positive energy up to her. So if you can just, picture her healthy, happy, reserved. And I also wanted to mention that she also picked your husband because she had some healing to do for him.
Oh, yes.
So that she, you often think you picked him up, but no, she arranged that so that he would pick her up. The other thing I wanted to mention is if any time that he has to leave, or you do, it's really important to say to her, I'm going to be gone for, I have to leave for this many days. The sun's going to come up like 5 times, and then in 5 times I'll be back. So, and then while you're gone, especially for a husband, if he's attached like that, while he's gone, he can actually send her mind pictures showing her where he is, what he's doing, saying that he misses her, because she will, animals are really good at this. She will see those mind pictures and she'll be totally relieved. And I tell you, she will not be upset as long as he keeps in contact with her and explains when he's coming back. And you can say to her too every morning, oh, only 3 more sunrises till your daddy comes home, that kind of thing. So that's what I would say. But she is strong, and the fact that she went through all of that just to be with your husband to help him tells you about what a strong soul she is. So lots of love to go around there. Thank you for sharing.
Yeah, we usually do tell the kitties when we're going to be back how many sleeps. We call it how many sleeps, because they want to know, how many sleeps. And we always tell them it's human sleeps, not kitty sleeps.
For sure.
A whole nother world. Well, thank you guys so much. This is Lily. She's a real sweetie pie. She's just a real sweetie pie. Yeah, she's a love bug. Yeah. And this is Merlin, who Lily rescued, and Merlin rescued Lily. So
Good job.
Yeah, thank you guys so much. I appreciate it.
You're very welcome. Thanks so much for sharing her with us.
That's so fun.
Oh, all right, great. So if anyone else has a question for the panel, we've got one more person here in line, and then we've got opportunities to answer more of your questions. So the information's there in the chat. You can just let us know in the chat that you want to ask a question, and then pay by PayPal or Venmo, or I can do it on Square. Well, lots of options. All right, we've got Verna in line. Verna got permission to ask her questions. So, all right, go ahead.
I just wanted to ask about my sister's cat. My sister's name is Dana, and her cat is named Lacey. And Lacey is about 16 years old, and she's a long-haired gray cat with bright green eyes. And she is going in for a thyroid treatment tomorrow. And my sister's not going to take her. I'm going with my niece to take her, and my niece requested that I come with her. So just want to have some information to kind of support my niece, and her cat, and my sister's cat, which is my niece named the cat, so she's also her cat.
Okay, practitioners on the panel, does one of you want to jump in to share about Lacey? Wait and see who's ready. Yeah.
I'll go first. Verna, she's right at the moment, she's feeling the tension. There's an anxiety with your niece about taking her in. She's feeling that something's going to happen and she doesn't know what it is. So I would definitely talk to her, have your niece talk to her or you talk to her, explain what time you're going to take her in, where she's going to the vets, and most definitely that she will be returning with you. She's not going to be left there, that she'll be returning with you. So that would relieve that anxiety that I'm feeling coming from Lacey.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, Donna, that makes a lot of sense because I was trying to tune in and I was just getting this great big wall. So I'm just like, okay. So yeah, Verna, sending those, I really love the idea of communicating with cats through images or animals with images. So I am agreeing with Donna too. It's like you're going to get a test and then you're coming home, and everybody else around her just taking that breath. It's like, no, is there an issue with the cat? I'm not medically intuiting on her at all, so somebody else may be able to.
Oh, she's getting a thyroid. My sister opted to give her this treatment for her thyroid that's like, it's almost like, I don't know if it's radiation, but it's something that'll help in place of giving her medication.
Okay, because I'm getting that it hurts her, the process hurts her. So doing whatever you can to not only calm her, but to help bring comfort to her in some way, whether it's through a flower essence or homeopathy, or, I love rescue remedy, which can be used on pets too. So squirting that, I love seeing your heads bobbing to an agreement. Thank you, Cindy, for confirming that. But rescue remedy, it comes in a small bottle. You can get it pretty much anywhere, Fred Meyer or super supplements, and you just put a couple of drops in her water and that will help her chill out and relieve and I would recommend rescue remedy for everybody else involved too. That'll help you chill out too, and the niece. So yeah.
All right.
Okay, cool. Thanks, Donna, for giving me that springboard.
And also I wonder if I talked to my cat and asked him to talk to Lacey, or would that not, I mean, would he be able to do that at all, or?
Do they interact at all?
No.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the best thing is
by
for you to
smell.
do it yourself.
What's that?
For you to do it yourself. You can,
Okay.
and your niece to send her, and also for your niece to really let her calm down and not be stressed out about it, because then like they were saying, then she starts picking up on your niece, and then she's like, well, what's happening? What am I going to be doing? So the more you both can be relaxed and positive and calm and breathing, that will help give her the support and, realizing that it's okay. And I agree, sending these pictures that, all is good, that she will be coming home, this procedure is going to help her, and just to relax. Do you know, are you able to go into the vet, or with COVID, are you having to let her go in by herself?
I think she's going to have to go in by herself. I'm wondering if either like a dirty shirt with like either my sister's smell or my niece's smell on it in the carrier might help.
Yeah, that's a good idea. That's, yeah, just give her that support. And again, tell her it's like, okay, we're still going to be here for you. We can't go in right now, but we are here, and keep sending her that love. You know, again, open your heart, send her those images that you're thinking about her. You're sending her love, you're sending her healing energy, and she'll take in whatever she needs to take so that she can feel that connection with you while she's in there at all times.
I just want to add one thing, and I totally agree with everybody's opinion on what's happening. You need to reassure the cat that you're going to be right there. You're not leaving. You're right there for that cat, 24/7, whether the cat's having the treatment or not, you're there. And is there a reason that you can't give it medicine versus this other kind of medical treatment?
The only reason that I think my sister chose to do this instead of the medication is that the medication can cause kidney problems in the future. But
because I just want to tell you what I got was this thyroid medicine, the medicine will actually be, a very good solution for the cat. And you just want to see it through. So if the cat, does not take well to the other treatment, I would definitely look maybe and ask the vet if you could do that other medical option.
okay.
And you don't have to fear about any other complications.
Yeah, I'll tell my sister. And
Verna, does your kitty have hyperthyroidism?
my cat, no. My sister's
Ellie,
cat does, yeah.
Okay, so I'm thinking, I mean, I'm not a vet or anything, but what I'm thinking is that they may be doing what a friend of mine, a human, had hyperthyroidism, and instead of trying to take all that medicine, they irradiate the thyroid, not completely, but like half of it or something, so that there's not as much thyroid to make thyroid hormone, and that takes care of it. So, I don't know if that's what they're doing, but it's possible injecting the dye for the irradiation just on one side of her thyroid, or maybe not taking out her whole thyroid, because that would be a disaster, but just calming it down. Okay, so I don't know. I mean, they must have explained that to her, what they're doing exactly. I don't know. I have no idea.
Yeah. I love my sister and I also feel like I don't think she's as like connected to explaining things to Lacey. I mean, or just she's not quite like, I feel very, I mean, she loves animals too, but she just has a different thought process, I think, than I do.
Yeah, one other thing I was going to say, agreeing with Phyllis when she was saying about at her age, I don't see any reason that she couldn't just, like Phyllis was saying, just get the medicine, because it's not like she's going to be taking it for 10 years. I mean, a year or two is probably be about the length of time she'd be taking. So Phyllis is probably, kind of straight on about just doing the medicine thing. I'm not diagnosing, I'm just saying that it kind of hit me when she said that, but oh my goodness sake, she's 16, so.
Yeah, I know. That's probably the choice I would have made, but my sister's made up her mind, and it's a very expensive procedure, but she really doesn't, I don't think, yeah. I know that for me, I need to be open-minded and just allow my sister to have that decision herself.
Yeah.
And I'm sure that the cat will feel better after, I mean, Lacey will feel better after It's done, and I don't know when she'll feel better though. And I don't know if, like, I want to make sure also that the cat gets the right aftercare. I know my sister will take care of her, but as far as if she's going to need any kind of medicine to help deal with stress, or, the rescue remedy is a good idea, I think.
Yeah, keep the rescue remedy going for at least a month after the surgery, and just keep putting it in her water. And it's a gradual process, or even longer, because that will help her through this whole procedure and the recovery.
Thank you.
All right, great. Yeah, thank you, practitioners. I appreciate the interweaving and the richness. Yeah, the answers, and right, supporting all of the people with all the animals. Great. All right. Yeah, so we've got 3 more questions lined up. Yeah, thanks, Berna. All right, so Kathy, you are next in line. And
thank you. I hope you can hear me okay. And I really appreciate everyone's time into this. I feel like it's divine timing, so I appreciate everyone's time and wonderful work they offer to the world in this. And I'm asking a question on behalf of one of my pets. One of my wonderful animal beings that I get to steward, and his name is Coda. He's having some skin issues, and it's been new. This is the first time really. We just moved, so I have a feeling that maybe it's around having moved to a new location. We just moved to Portland, and we've been here for about a little bit over a month. And it just started a week and a half to 2 weeks after we arrived here. And he's the kind of dog that is really loving, very sweet. You can do anything that you want with him, hug him, play with him. He's such a loving soul. But the skin issue was just something new. I took him to the vet. They said that maybe it might be like a food allergy, maybe an environmental allergy, and he isn't scratching too much where it's bothering him a lot. And I've been using some natural balms to put on his hot spots, but just curious to see what I could do for him, if maybe there is some more inner lining issue, if it's just basic change in the environment of being in a new place, or what might come through to support him in resolving the skin issue and anything else that needs my attention.
What kind of dog is he?
He is a mixed breed. We rescued him. He rescued us about when he was 1 year old, and now he's 6 years old. So we've had him for 5 years, but he's about 100 pounds, mixed dog. They think like a lab mix. He has like Great Dane personality. He's just a mix. We call him a little bit of like a Frankenstein dog because he's got such an interesting looking body.
What color is he?
He's black.
And one thing I'll say about Portland is a very sensitive energy town. And so all sorts of allergies and all sorts of anything that's not right, it arises in Portland for people. Okay.
Well, one thing is there's been so many squirrels that he's encountered, and he's never encountered so many. So he's been very heightened, and we've been working with him. So he doesn't feel like he has this like strong prey drive, and it seems to be fine. But yeah, he's much calmer, but he's never away from me for the most part too. And we have a nice balance of dynamic together.
So I'll start. I'm picking up a lot of anxiety and stress, and I think that was related to the move because it was a bit of a surprise to him, and this whole new place, he's not too sure. The energies are different. Everything is different. The smells are different, and he's really not too sure about the place. So this skin, he's just reacting energetically, anxiety wise, with all of this licking. This is another case where rescue remedy might be of some assistance to help him with this transition. Just put on all the dogs, or all of your animals can have it, you know, a couple drops a day for a while, just to help them adjust. Also, you know, explain to him, this is our new home, this is our new place. Tune in and send him lots of love and energy so that he can start to adapt and feel comfortable. Explain to him about the squirrels, show him this is normal. He doesn't have to chase them all, he can, but this is his new home. And I'm getting up like some calming colors around him, you know, maybe on his bed, like something blue or purple, something that he can, you know, can help calm him down, that gives him that calming energy around him as well. So anything along those lines. But he loves you, and he's so happy where he is. He's just a little like, oh my God, there's so much going on, and like, what happened to my old place? So
very much. Thank you.
I just want to add something too. Yeah. Do you have carpet where you are?
We moved into a rental that didn't have it, but we have the rugs from our previous home that we put down all over the house. So it's easier for them, and also had the smell.
Because the first thing that came up for me was that you need to have the carpets re-cleaned. If you haven't already done that, that might help. And a baking soda bath for the dog can help neutralize some of that itching. And as a side note, I used to have a couple of pharaoh hounds, Egyptian pharaoh hounds, and I lived in Portland. And so what I would do, especially on those rainy days and where you really don't want them to get out and get too dirty, but they do anyway. I'd put the dogs in the car and I'd take them to the park, and they could just watch the squirrels. And I would say to the dogs, it's squirrel TV. And that kind of gets the anxiety, you know, they get to watch it. They're with you, and, you know, hey, the animal, you know.
Yeah.
So I hope that helps.
Yes. Yeah. I like that interaction, building communication, building like a different type of communication, but doing something together. That's perfect.
Yeah, the squirrel
I
TV.
would
Right.
I follow up with what the others have said. That anxiety is, I just want to make sure that, I mean, you're in a new place, but he's not yet adjusted to whatever rhythm and rhyme or reason of what's going on around him as far as your daily routine. And so it would be helpful if you could just say to him, okay, this is our new house. We got to go to work. We'll be home, blah, 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 whatever it is in his new regimen. And the other thing I would add to what Laureli said is that, you know, dogs are like 99.9% nose. I mean, it's sense, it's smell. So, and Portland, and I can say Washington State too, is notorious for dog allergies. And I have one dachshund who's itching, and I have another friend who's got a little pug. She just adopted him from Kentucky. You would think if he was going to have something, but he got there, and a month later, his belly is all itchy. So I don't know if it's the pollen here or the air, or it certainly couldn't be the smoke left over from this summer, I don't think. But yeah, it's a notorious for allergies. There are a couple of non-itchy type things that you can find online that you can give them that help a little bit. But basically, I like the idea. What was it you said? A bath?
Baking soda bath.
Yeah. Another thing, just from Native American, is if you can get hold of some fresh sage and warm it up, not hot, but just warm it up in you know, to make like a mild warm bath. And if you, I don't know, it's pretty big to get them to soak, but if you could get a sage, fresh sage, not dry, but fresh sage,
Right. Right.
it does wonders. But you know, you have to stay in there about 20 minutes. So I don't know
Mhm.
do that, just a suggestion, but I would direct you to the fact that Laureli said it's just notorious for allergies, and with their sensitive noses, they just pick up everything.
Thank you. Yeah, maybe like a compress on the hot spots with the sage.
Yeah, exactly. That would be
Yeah.
great. Yeah.
Thank you.
I just want to add that the first thing that I saw was him like digging his nose in everything outside. So I got the feeling that it was an allergy. Maybe it could be due to stress, that it's coming out in his skin, also because of all of the new things that he's around. But I would say just notice if there's anything particular like in your yard or on walks that he's really digging into, just in case there is a specific thing that he's allergic to. But I agree with everyone else that he's just a little bit like, what's going on? So I think if you just communicate with him, if you just tell him, I think that will help a lot too.
Thank you. That feels good.
Great. Practitioners, anyone else want to dive in? Anything else?
I'll confirm what I was getting. Carolyn was saying pretty much what I was thinking all the way through, so I didn't feel like I needed to add anything. But yeah, rescue remedy and stress. I love the idea of a baking soda bath too. So there, I contributed.
Thank you, ladies. Thank you so much. It's been awesome. Appreciate it.
You know, if there's access to it, sounds like you were talking about like ideally if you could soak in it for like 20 minutes or something like that. If you can find a really big bathtub somewhere, my dog used to just love to hang out in the water with me. So, I mean, probably a bathtub, you know, if you had to, you could find something maybe, but.
Yeah, he's like, that's why I question if he's actually any like kind of lab, but he's not a big fan of the water. But he's all about touch. So I give him lots of massages and that touch. So the compress and even like a baking, I can figure it out. But for him, of course, I'll move mountains. Thank you.
All right, great. Great, thank you so much for your question. All right, and we've got a couple more questions in line. Let's see, so Joe is next. Joe has a great, rich question.
Hi, everybody. So my partner and I are splitting up and we have a Kelpie, Raven. She's an Australian Kelpie plus Staffy. And I have Prouster, which is my cat. He's a rescue cat that I've had for 7 years now. I'm moving away and I'm moving almost 2,000 kilometres away. And my question is, do I take the cat with me? I've kind of asked the question and put the question to the cat and asked him to sleep on my bed if that was the case. I'm actually really allergic to Prouster and I love him dearly and I'm anaphylactic allergic. I'm really wanting to know whether he's going to be able to deal with the shift away from the Kelpie and my husband, whether he does actually want to come with me or not. And I'd love any feedback.
And I wanted to make it clear in the question, if you could just share a tiny bit more about the connection with your husband, because I think that's going to be relevant.
So my husband and I have been together for 10 years, and he's a good soul, but I just can't be in his energy anymore. I do a lot of work in the spiritual field, and he's got a lot of addictions and mental illnesses. And I've come to the point where I realise that I just enable him. So it's better for me to actually step away and get on to like completely be on my path of what I'm here to do. So he's quite, he understands that. He knows that I have to move on. But for me, it's about moving away and getting as far away as I can. And I'm going to Cairns. So I'm in Brisbane, Australia, and I'm moving to Cairns, which I think the cat would actually really love because he's a bit of he loves hot heat. There's air conditioning on. He'd rather be outside in the sun.
So if I may clarify, what pet is it to whom you're so allergic to?
The
one
cat.
the one you're taking,
Yeah.
you want to take with you?
Yeah, the cat.
And I just say, is it definitely that you want to take him, or you're trying to sort out what's best for the cat? Like, what is?
I am trying to sort out what's best for the cat. And I really do love him very much. Even though I am anaphylactic allergic to his saliva, not so much. And I haven't had a reaction with him since I've found that out 5 years ago, because I'm very careful about every time I pat him, I wash my hands, and it's just that he's an adorable animal, and he's got such a cheeky personality. I really, really align to that, but I think he really aligns to my husband as well. And he spends a lot of time, if my husband allows him, wrapping his body around my husband's head, because that's where he's got Asperger's, and I suspect a bit of bipolar. So for the cat, I'm wanting to work out what's best for him.
I'm sorry, what is his name and his color?
He's a tabby cat, so he's grey and white with spots and tiger stripes, and he's got black angel wings on his back. He's a really, he's a motley kind of looking cat, and his name's Prouster, which my husband named him, but I call him Moo Moo.
And you're going to be moving someplace warm?
Very warm, yes. Cairns. It's very warm.
I'm sorry, is that in Australia?
Yes, it is. That's where I'm from.
On the West Coast?
We're on the East Coast. No, East Coast, Australia. So it's really hot. It's about 38 degrees here at the moment. And Cairns gets to on average 38, but with 100% humidity. So it's a very sweaty place. But beautiful.
He would probably be someplace where he could lay outside anyway in the sun.
Yep.
Like yard.
Yeah, he's mainly an outside cat.
I just knew this was going to be a nice, rich one. It's a great question.
Yeah, nothing easy.
I'm present to how much your energy lights up when you, when you talk about this cat.
I adore him. I absolutely adore him. He was so naughty when we first bought him. We had him in a box, and his little paw was coming out the top of the box. It was like, where are you taking me? Let me out. He's just got the most mischievous energy. He was belting up all of the other kittens and the mother cats in the actual Kachoo clinic, because he's got cat flu. And he was running around and hitting them over the head and then hiding. He's just so naughty.
So one thing for me that I think you have the mischievous energy too, and you haven't been able to let that express fully being in this relationship with your husband.
You're right.
So part of it is the cat is helping you wake up more to you and be connected to you. So I don't know where the panelists are going to go, but if you don't take the cat with you, more of this is going to come through. You're going to have more of this connections. And it's not that you only can connect to this through your cat. It's really an essential part of who you are. So let's see where they go. And just that's what I'm noticing.
Well, thank you.
No,
you're right.
Susy's I know. Let's see. Yeah, Susy's got her hand up. I know Donna wants to go. Yeah, go ahead. Did you? Donna might have a question.
No, I don't want my hand up anymore, because the more you're talking, the more I'm thinking, I don't know. I'm just it is really complex. Of course, now that I start talking, I'm going to start saying something maybe useful. Have you talked to the cat? Have you set that image up for your cat, giving it a choice? Because honestly, my human aspect is going, but it could kill you. And that kind of bothers me. And it can help your husband, but you like the cat. So I'm looking at it too much from that mental processing point. So I would ask you, have you offered up the option to the cat? And you did, though, right? You said sleep on my bed.
Mm-hmm.
And what was the result of that?
He came and sat on the bed for about 20 minutes, and then it was like, yeah, I want to go outside now. And he smooched up to me, which he doesn't do very often. So I was kind of like, oh, you do want to. But then last night, I gave him the option of sleeping on the bed, and he didn't. He ran around the house chasing a cockroach, killed it, ate it, and then wanted to go outside. So I'm still a bit
Because he still
perplexed.
answered you. He said, I sat on your bed. What else do you want? And his mischievousness is coming in, you know? So I think
Perfect.
this is totally in character for him from my point of view. I'm going to let everybody else say stuff because, yeah, that's all I got.
That's okay.
So Joe, this is Carolyn here.
Hi, Carolyn.
The first thing I got was that he is very much there for your husband in many ways to help him with his healing and to help him with his, like you said, he sleeps around his head. He's there.
Mm.
It's like his energy is helping to balance your husband in many respects. Now, again, going to what they were saying, you want to ask him and give him a choice, I think. But I
Yeah.
think he feels very much that it's one of his jobs is to really kind of help balance your husband and to help him. Because cat's energy is very healing and very, they're purring and everything. It does a lot for people. So I think for him, it helps balance your husband a little bit and helps keep him centered and a little calmer. But
I
he,
agree.
so that's my take on it.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. He does. When we first got the cat on the third day, my husband said to me, "The cat has to go," and I said, "It's an itty bitty kitten, and you haven't even picked up the cat and held it." I said, "If anybody's leaving, it's you. You can go and pack your bags. The cat stays." And from that point on, him and the cat have bonded, and now he rubs his belly and he's like, "Oh, my little moo moo," and he does soften around the cat. I've noticed a big change there. So that is my question is, I understand how healing the cat actually is. Yeah, so it's a really tough one for me because I adore the cat. I really, really do. And I don't think he'll ever kill me or anything, although when he's angry with me, he licks me. And he knows, shit knows.
Well, but you can also, this can allow you to bring in something when you move that is, more aligned with you right now and your new way of being and who you are going to be. And it just frees you up to attract the right animal that's going to be your next partner.
Okay.
It's not a bad thing. And sometimes they have their purposes that, they need to, they're here for a certain reason. So, and again, it's not that he doesn't like you and doesn't, love you and want to be with you, but I think he feels very connected with your husband.
Yeah, I agree. I totally agree. Thank you.
Okay.
I really appreciate that.
Go ahead.
Joe, I just want to add one more thing. Thank you. And that is use social media, use FaceTime, interact with the cat and just let the cat be able to hear your voice. And the cat, because you are on a spiritual mission yourself as an evolved soul here on the planet, you can send the cat thoughts and then the cat will send you the thought right back. And then you can reassure the cat that you haven't left. You may have left physically for now, but you're always in the cat's heart. And the cat's always in your heart. And so, I just say, it's not like you can share the cat from that much of a distance, but it's the new evolved you and the new evolved cat, and love is the bridge.
I agree. Well, I spent a month away, and I would ring every second night, and I'd talk to the cat, and he'd come up and rub the phone. So yeah, I totally agree with that. That's awesome.
Yeah, but let him see you as well, okay? And so you can see the cat too.
Yeah.
So you can do Zoom or you could do like
FaceTime.
FaceTime for sure.
I'll have to teach my husband how to do that.
Push
He's
of the
not real.
button. Yeah.
Is my dog okay, my Kelpie? Because she's got a couple of tumours on her. I just wondered if anybody had picked anything up about the Kelpie.
Could I just mention something about your kitty first?
Sure.
Okay, the image I got that just split up when you said about leaving him is like he was standing on his back legs and he threw his paws up and he said, "Oh no, me." That's what he was saying. He said, "No." So you take it with however you'd like to interpret it, but I definitely would say that his curling around your husband's head is he's taken on the responsibility of trying to heal him. He's trying to pull that negative energy or non-positive energy out of your husband. Now, if you take him away, then it would be, would your husband deteriorate or no? And the other side of the coin is, if you leave him with your husband, is your husband responsible enough to make sure that he's taken care of if he has to go to the vet, or anything, because he's getting quite elderly, as you mentioned, by his age. So those are just things that I mentioned to you because it's a long way. It's to go rescue him, if something goes wrong where your husband's not able to take care of him. So, and the other thing I saw was that he's done that responsibly. He's taken on that responsibility, but he's showing me like a seesaw, like responsibility, and so it's almost like he wants to seesaw over to be responsible for you now. So I'm just showing you what I'm seeing. I'm not trying to, I mean, it's a really terrible choice that you have to make, and lots of pluses and minuses on both sides, but those are the images that I was shown. So I hope that helps.
You're spot on, because he's had an issue with drugs most of his life, and now it's alcohol, and his aura is so badly ripped that he keeps bringing in these dark entities. And so when Prouster does go onto his bed, it's because he's been into the city and he's had a drinking session, and so he goes in, and he admits it. I said, I know the cat's in there healing your room because you've brought home entities with you again. And that's the thing, the 10 years that I've spent trying to evolve myself, but also trying to help him, and he's really rejecting that. And so I'm leaving because I know that's for my highest good. And yeah, I really battle with the cat, and I know he's a very strong animal. And my husband says take him, and then a couple of days later he goes, "Oh, the dog's going to miss him too much." And oh, jeez. And you're right, that seesaw, it's a seesaw back, and I'm sort of hoping that the cat gives me a really good strong sign, because I'm quite happy to take him with me. I really am. And
the other thing I was feeling was that the kitty has like, I was shown like a weight, like not a weight you lift, but one of those things they use on roads, the big barrier things down on his shoulders, and that he was doing that, but he not so sure he can do it without your help. Okay.
Well, yeah,
So
I understand what you're saying there.
You leave, he doesn't know, the kitty doesn't know if he could handle the entirety by himself. So
that makes a lot of sense. That does make a lot of sense. I don't actually want him to have to suffer, hey. I'm just trying to find him so I could show you what he looks like, because he's a really quite unusual cat. He has the tiger stripes as well as the leopard spots and the black angel wings on the back of him. So he's quite a, I know he's a healer of some sort, and he's quite a funny animal. He's hidden. He knows I'm talking about him. But I really appreciate your feedback. That's sort of hasn't cleared it, but the fact that he's actually that confirms that he was here as a healer with my husband. So I get that. I can show you my Kelpie though. Who's this, Raven? Who's that?
Oh.
And she's actually she's very attached to my husband, and both of them, when they get stressed, the best place for them is the garden. She's a bit ball obsessed and he's a bit cleaning obsessed, so they make a good pair.
I just wanted to add really quickly that when I first connected, the answer I got was the cat wants everybody to stay together. That he, right? He wants to be like, he likes the whole family. He's attached to everyone. So I wasn't able to get a clear answer, but that's one where continuing to talk to him and explaining what's happening, I think, is going to help. Yeah. But when you mentioned the dog, I think the cat also feels like a healer for the dog as well. I was getting some attachment, and as soon as you said something that he had tumors, the cat is very aware of that. Whether they're serious or not, I think the cat also has this bond. So unfortunately, I don't have a solid answer for you, but I also think having the cat would be really good for you, for your mental health. And so if you don't end up taking the cat, my recommendation would be to get another pet, because I think you have that energy where you'll be able to feed off of each other. And I also think just what you're going through and moving far away and, you know, splitting up and everything, it's just going to be nice to have someone there with you. So I can't tell you what's best for the cat, but I know that the cat loves all of you, and hopefully you will have, if not him, another animal companion to help get through all of this.
Thank you. Yeah, I absolutely love animals. Hey, I just doggies, cats, it doesn't matter what they are, birds, the whole lot. So I'll definitely have another animal being. I think they're adorable. So I really appreciate your input. Thank you all.
No, you're welcome, Leslie. There might be some other summary views that arise out of this. I don't know if there's anything else. Yeah. It occurs to me too, the cat's gonna be a healer wherever the cat goes. So it just seems like the cat's, just my perspective, the cat's on a playful journey and the cat's going to be okay wherever the cat is.
Yeah.
Right. It just seems like you're asking more about your husband and the dog is more what your concern is.
Yeah.
Okay, practitioners, anything else to share? Just want to make sure you all get a chance.
No, I just wanted to say good luck, because that's really, really hard decision to have to make.
Yes, it is. It is. It's always hard when the animals, I don't have children, so that my animals are my babies. I love my fur kids. But he chose the dog when I lost my soulmate a number of years ago, Teddy Bear. He was a Chow Chow cross dingo dog, the most incredible soul ever. And I think he helped me. I couldn't get another dog because nothing could replace him. So that's why I went for a cat for the first time. And I didn't know I was allergic to them, but I found out. But yeah, I love cats' personalities. They're just, you don't own a cat, they own you. They train you.
I don't know if I've fully listened to everything, but it just seemed like the cat might be taking its opportunities to heal the husband and the dog now while it's there too. Like, so the cat could be preparing for if it leaves also. Like, I don't want to get in the way of what the rest of you are seeing, but yeah.
Well, my husband said to me to take the cat with me, and I am concerned about how he looks after the animals. So yeah, that makes sense. He's not as doting as what I am with the animals, I suppose. I put them into air conditioning when it's really hot and put the music on for them, whereas he will leave them outside, and which is, you know, I know animals are usually used to that, but when we've got really stinking hot heat, I think they need to be as comfortable as what we are.
Yeah.
So I like that.
Yeah, if any, go ahead and speak up any last bits, any of you, if you want to.
I do. Not to belabor the point, is why do you keep questioning it when the cat has given you signs? He sat
Okay.
on your bed and you feel this way. And then I know for my part, I was like, but it could kill you. But then I'm wrong. I feel like I'm very wrong with that. Listen to the cat. I feel like when Donna was saying he's going me, listen to the cat, and the cat's giving you some very, the more you talk, the more I'm realizing the cat is giving you some very distinct signs. So follow that.
Yes,
I have the t-shirt that says, wait, let me overthink this. And that's what I'm doing. And I feel like you're kind of doing that too.
it feels like for me, this is really about you separating from your husband and you doing
Yeah.
more separation there.
Yeah.
Yep.
And so choosing to take the cat with you, even though you know that they've got some bond, it's you really letting yourself leave.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yep, that's perfect. Awesome. Thank you so much, ladies. That's been really good. That's confirmed it for me. He's coming.
Good.
Great.
Yep.
Welcome. All right. We've got 3 more people in line. We've got 45 minutes. We're going to do it. We've got Kristen and then Ruby and then Anissa. All right, Kristen, are you ready? Where are you? Kristen's right. Oh, Kristen's right there. Okay, let's see. So I see you. Let's see how we can hear you. So Kristen, are you?
Yeah, can you hear me now?
Yep,
Great.
we can hear you now. Great.
Okay,
Great.
good.
All right.
All right. Thank you for letting me ask my question. My question is about my dog. He is named Amaretto. He's 13 years old now. I'd like to hold up a picture of him if that's okay, so you can see him. So let's see if I can get this to show a little bit here.
Oh,
that's Amaretto. He is a red border collie and shepherd cross. And like I said, he just turned 13. He has some allergies and some breathing issues. But he's also starting to gain a little bit of weight because he's not wanting to move as much anymore. When we go on a walk, he tells me when he's done. And I'd like to know how to support him in his older age a little bit more, what he needs from me to help him, and specifically how to help him move more. If there's something that he would like to do with me that would be more fun, that he would go further, I would like to know that. Also, if there's any past life or reincarnation connection that I feel there is. Thank you.
I would like to go first, just really quickly, because immediately when I saw that picture, he was showing me jumping and being active and running around. And when you said that, I thought, he's showing me what he used to be like. Exactly. He's showing like, I used to be able to do this, and he's sad that he can't anymore. And so he's aware of that. I would say to just be sensitive to that, because it's also like affecting him mentally a little bit, because it makes him sad that he can't do that. But because I also do massage, I feel like I'm feeling like a lot in his joints. Like when he tries to move, he's feeling really, really stiff. And you can look up videos or things online that you can do. But one of the things is just like gently press a little bit on each of his joints. That kind of stops the blood flow for a second. And then when you let go, the new blood rushes to that area. So even like gentle pressing a little bit can help loosen that up. So I would say do that a little bit, maybe before you go on walks. And that doing that a little bit may not fix everything, but it might make him more comfortable for the time that you're walking. So that would be my biggest recommendation. I think he's getting a lot of like stiffness when he tries to move, and so it just doesn't feel as good.
Yeah, that sounds like a great suggestion. Thank you for that, Denise. That was helpful.
Are you
Also,
giving supplements like glucosamine or any of that?
He does get glucosamine, yeah. Another thing you could do if you have like a holistic vet around your area that does acupuncture or laser, that also is very great to help move the energy and unstick the meridians and get things flowing in the body, because acupuncture, it can be great. It helps. It kind of supports the massage kind of aspect, but it can get in and get the energies moving so that things are flowing and he's feeling better. Okay, great.
So
that's another, and just like Denise was saying, they get aware that they're not able to do what they used to do. So again, supporting him where he is now and not feeling like, okay, I have to fix you. You're fine the way you are, but I want to support you and help you feel more comfortable and help him, feel like he is doing okay, and maybe shorter walks more often, or, get out a treat and make him move around a little bit. You can do little exercises to get him to move, just so that he's responding in different ways, so that he's not, just sitting. So you can experiment and play with those kinds of ideas as well. Okay, great. Thank you for that.
I just want to add one other thing. I don't know if you've heard about a biomat before. It's amethyst and tourmaline, and it's basically a glorified heating pad, but it's actually a licensed medical device in Japan, and they do have a small one that you could purchase. And I know that my animals, when I lived in Portland, because it was cold and they were thin, the Pharaoh hounds, and I made them little coats and all that jazz, but they would love to lay on that biomat. And it really does help because it puts you in a theta state. It's good for humans as well. And it really helps the joints a lot. And so when I was tuning into your dog, he was saying that the hips hurt. It's the hips that hurt. And so I agree with the other practitioners about the glucosamine. I'm glad that you're doing that. That's great. And the dog would also like a warmer bed. So that's why I turned to scoring the amethyst biomat for you. You can look at it up online. Maybe you can get a used one, or you can just buy a new one, and you both can enjoy it together.
I'll go next. I totally agree with what everybody said. I instantly got a heated bed, but that other one sounds pretty cool, but heated anyway. And the arthritis I'm seeing again in the hips, like was stated, but also in the center of his back. And then I don't know what you call it, but where his paw is here, this wrist in the front, on both front legs right here, very, very painful. So I'm not sure if you could put compresses on there or not, I don't know. And the other thing I got was that some of his slowing down could be his breathing with his allergies, because I have allergies. And, we had all that smoke this summer. I thought I was fine. And I was like going out to do the chickens. I'm like, I can't get my breath. What is the problem? And then I realized after 3 weeks, even though it wasn't smoky, it was still hazy. And so I don't know if you have a wood burner in your house or anything like that, somebody smokes or anything like that. But I think that that's playing a big part in him being tired because a lot of times when dogs have arthritis, they'll take off and chase a squirrel without even thinking about it. But if they can't get their breath and their heart's racing, they will lay down and stop, But I agree with whoever, I think that's Carolyn, that said that you need to talk with him and say to him, I totally accept in the moment who you are as you are. You are totally loved and accepted, and do not worry about anything else. You're in your forever home. You're totally loved, and I honor you. Okay. So those kinds of things will relieve him feeling bad about, like, who was it said that he used to jump and play and he can't do that. And it does affect them. I mean, it does make them feel like, I often get that in the readings, like, well, I'm showing you how I used to be. This is how I would like to be, but I can't be anymore. And do my parents still love me? Yes, of course they do, you know. So those are things, but yeah, it's kind of like just a dog getting older and going into that arthritis phase. I know I'm not supposed to say this, but I have 2 dogs that are 17, and they get really stiff sometimes. And occasionally, not every day or anything, but occasionally I give them just 1 baby aspirin at night so that they can sleep. And it does alleviate the pain. And the next morning, maybe just my interpretation, but they do seem happier. But I don't do it all the time because it definitely would make their stomach upset and irritated and red. So, but just once in a while, when I feel like they're just like really struggling, I do that. So, but sorry here.
Great. And Susie, I see. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, Kristen. So I've also got a certificate in homeopathy, and one of the remedies for arthritis, it's called Rus toxicodendron, but the symptoms to that one are that it's like a rusty gate. You know how a rusty gate takes a long time and it's really noisy, but as it goes and it warms up, movement becomes easier. But I'm saying that homeopathy, the little homeopathic pellets, oh, you popped over to the other side of my screen. Okay. The pellets come in a small blue tube, and you can get them like at Super Supplements, sometimes at one of the larger grocery stores. Like I know our Fred Meyers up here carries them, but in the health and beauty section, some the like co-ops, what is it, PCC and Whole Foods might carry it. But if that's the symptom, I mean, you'll have a different remedy if the symptoms manifest in different ways. But I was getting very strongly that warmth is going to help, whether it's, you know, putting them on the hot pad or, you know, I don't know, whatever. But I also thought about the glucosamine, but I didn't feel like that resonated as well. But definitely Rus toxicodendron does. Yeah, whatever massage. But the past life stuff, he was a cattle dog. I see him just like flying across and herding sheeps, not only in the American West, where like in the Western state, where that like Nevada, what Nevada is now. And he was doing sheep and cattle. He also did some of the trails from Mexico up. Yeah, so he loved being a cattle dog that way. Oh no, he's like, no, that was Argentina. It's like, okay, thank you. Pardon me. But so he does miss the running, but it hurts so much. He's beginning to sound like this old crotchety man, like, oh, it hurts. I don't want to do it. But there are other ways you can do to help him and still send him that love, show him those images of your, you know, yeah, you're hurting. And here, let me help you. And this is what I can do. And he's probably going to be more receptive to telling you those things like, no, let me lay down. It's like hitting the snooze button. No, let me sleep a little longer, just a little bit. And then he'll come back. But you're very understanding in that, yeah, I get it. You're 16. You're kind of wearing out. I feel very strongly too that he's more concerned with you. It's like, what are you going to do? It's like, you're here for him for now. But he really did love that Argentinian cowboy scene. He just dug that so much. And in fact, you were part of there. That's one of the times you two spent together. If I could go off on that path a little bit, he was kind of in the wild, and he came up to you and you just handed him some food, and it was without even thinking about it. And that was the immediate bond. You just knew you had recognized each other from lifetimes. Oh, yep, there's Egypt too. Okay, so it's very strong there, and he's just so concerned about leaving you in the lurch, leaving you unprotected. So assure him that he is fine and that he is doing everything, that you two are doing great things, and you're here to help and protect him now. Does that resonate?
That resonates very much. That was lovely. Thank you for
Awesome.
that. Yeah,
Yeah.
very, very neat insights. I love the idea of Argentina. How cool is
Oh,
that?
yeah.
Yeah.
The bolero and all of that. He was just like, ooh, I'm so cool. So yeah.
Very cool.
You
Susie,
really enjoyed it.
I have to piggyback on that, hilarious. I was picking up a Spanish speaking guy on a horse, and I was thinking it was a Basque, you know, the Basque sheep herders in Nevada, but it was
Wow.
Spanish in Argentina.
Well, no, it could have been the Basque too. I mean, that's the beauty of past lives. If like you're seeing it there, it's like, sure. That's my favorite answer. It's like, yes is the best answer. If it's supposed to work out, it will. But yeah, he was Basque, he was Spanish, and that just like all these floodgates. He really loves being a cow dog, a cattle dog. Sheep, he thought they were just too stupid. They're like, they're so dumb. But the cows, he feels very empowered being around the larger animals and being able to boss them around. He really digs that.
And he was very talented. He was very good at his job.
He just said to me, for you, dear Kristen, he said, I hope you're ready for the next life because it is going to be a ball. He's got all kinds of energy stuff going on. Like, I don't know what's going on, but he said, get ready, dear.
All right. Very cool.
Cute.
Well, I'd like to say something because I'm a little confused because a couple of you picked up on a warmer bed for him, which is funny because he, you know, I live in New Hampshire. It's getting cold here. It's going into winter. And he actually prefers, he has a dog door accessible to him all the time to go out into his fenced yard. And he actually prefers to sleep outside in the cold. So I'm a little confused by him doing that, but asking for a warmer bed too. Do you have any input on that?
Because that's reflective of the times he spent outside on the trail.
Mm-hmm.
That's what he's used to. But if you could let him know, it's like, you know, warmth may help your muscles, your joints there, because that, you know, it could help you so that you can hang out outside when it's colder.
Okay.
And say, now I'm feeling him go, oh, okay.
And the other side of it is too, that sometimes with dogs that elderly, they don't tolerate heat in the air as well.
Yeah.
In other words, he's trying to cool himself off a little bit because he's kind of, you know, I'm elderly, so, you know, the heat comes and goes. And so, you know, so he may feel like he's cooling himself off being out there, but you might just have to shut him in at night, at least, on a warm bed, at least for the night sleeping. I don't know if that he would tolerate that, but.
You can also put a heating pad in his bed outside too, you know, or you know, underneath a blankie for him and see if he likes that, and then adjust him and constantly ask him, well, how do you feel? Did you feel better? Give him a choice.
And you'll see it too. You'll see it in his and the way he's moving and acting and how he's doing. And as he gets used to it, it'll be like, oh, okay, there's a benefit to this.
Yeah.
Does anyone see anything around his breathing issues or his allergies that I could be doing better to help him there at all?
I'm getting you. This is kind of a thing that can happen with older dogs, so it's not unusual. And it just may be that, again, you accepting him the way he is and allowing him to know that he's okay. I'm not getting an allergy. Is he getting an allergy? I'm not getting an allergy per se, but they can get this thing where they have trouble like breathing. They have to pant more. They get, you know, and it's just part of the aging process to a certain extent. So, again, support him on that. You know, don't feel like, you know, you have to fix it because it may not be something that can be fixed. You know, you can support it and help it and ease it off, but it just maybe that's the way he is right now.
And I agree with Carolyn, you might have the vet check in for collapsed trachea.
Mm-hmm.
Great, thank you for that.
Just a question, is part of the need for a new bed, is there anything in the current bed that's bothering him?
Not that I'm aware of. He
He's a little bit spoiled. He has access to 5 different beds in the house. different weights, different sizes. So I'm not aware of anything that's bothering him in his bed.
And just practitioners, just someone asked, do any of you work with pet quality CBD? I know we've given it to our dog before when she's been in a lot of pain from joints.
Mm-hmm. I use that on my dog a lot. That the tinctures that we just add with his meal every day, and it really helps a lot. It's very beneficial, and that definitely is something.
I totally agree. The thing is, at least here in Washington, it's illegal for the vets to prescribe it. So you just kind of have to go on your own to the store and try to figure out what's an acceptable one. Be careful of the dosage and everything, but they do make, like Carolyn said, they do make a pet one, and it does help a lot.
And there are several online too. There are several places online that give different sort of versions of CBD that you can use. So
thank you. I will look into that too.
All right, great. Thank you so much for your question. Thank you, practitioners, for your answers. By the way, I'll mention too, we have a feedback form. We have 2 more questions we're going to answer. We have a feedback form. If you'd love to, if you're willing to share your feedback with us about the panel, and you give us your contact info, we'll put you in a drawing for a free 30-minute session with one of us of your choice. You can find that link in the chat right now. So please, if you could do that before you leave, that would be great. All right, so our 2 more questions we have from Ruby and then Anissa. So Ruby, you are up.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi. So I don't have any particular questions about my current, and my current cats are doing wonderful. But I do a lot of spiritual work, and I also do like accounting. So I do both things in my life, and I just keep, since the shelter in place orders and stuff, I keep getting this feeling, like, I think it was a Facebook meme or something that just said, like, what would you have really wanted to be when you were a kid? And it popped in. I was just like, I would love to be an animal communicator. I would love to be able to just always be thinking, I don't know, just even when I'm doing my other life, I just want to be aware of it. And when I thought of today, as I've been watching, I was just remembering my very first dog that was 2 years old when I was born, and her name was Friendly. And she's just, I've never had another dog like my family has, my brothers and whatnot, but I've always been with cats since her. And she just keeps, like, I just keep seeing her and feeling her and remembering her today. And I'm just wondering if there's any messages from any of you about her, or like our work together or anything. She was just a regular black dog, about medium size, and she had longish hair. And one thing was, she had a stiff back leg because she got hit by a car when she was a puppy, but she could run really fast and it didn't bother her at all. And she kind of was our caretaker as we were kids too, in a lot of ways. Like, one time I took the bike way too far into town and she followed me, and then there was a couple of days when she was lost, but she came back. She found her way back and stayed with us the whole rest of her life. So anyway, that's all really I have. I just wondered if there was any messages or anything from her around that kind of work for me.
Well, I can't
I
say.
love the, I was just going to say, I love the MeWe fairs that you've been doing, but this is my first time to actually ask a question. So thank you.
Thanks so much. So glad to have you ask a question for the first time. As you were sharing, before you said what you said, like just as you got close to it, I just started feeling tingles all over, and I kept feeling tingles all over as you were talking. And just in your eyes, I so deeply feel your connection to other creatures. So I'm assuming they're all going to say, yeah, go for it. But yeah, let's see what they say. Yeah, whoever
Could
wants.
I ask you how she's coming to you?
Like in my heart, like I can feel her her energy. And one of the practices that I'm certified in is Maya tree breath work, which means like loving kindness towards oneself and others. And I told my friend one time I love the name Maya tree, but we don't have it in English. And then I told her that my first dog's name was Friendly, and she was like, that is it. Her name means friendliness, you know, that's what it means, kindness.
Does she come in your dreams?
I haven't seen her very much in my dream. It's been a long time. So she died when I'm 43 now, almost 44. And she died when I was probably 10 or 11. So it's been kind of.
Time is nothing to them.
I know.
And also which body they're reborn into.
Right.
So she's not gonna, she's like, I don't want to stay a dog the whole time. You know, she's going to be a cat. She's going to be a bird. She's incarnated as different things. I don't get a sense that no, I'm not getting a sense that she's in any of the cats right now, but because she's so happy living in your heart because you had a good time with her, but don't limit her to being a dog.
Yeah.
Check in and see with the energy and see, it's like, oh, there's Friendly over there in that crow, or, you know, somewhere else. Because I think Friendly has a whole lot of fun incarnating in different ways. I think that sense of creativity, of adventure and newness is what's so attracting Friendly to doing different things. So sitting out in your heart for a while, totally fine with that.
Awesome.
How long has she been coming to you that you noticed?
Well, recently, like since the quarantine started in March, like I've been having more of this sense because I've been watching some things on YouTube about animal communication with like baboons and elephants and things like this. But she keeps coming to me and being like, well, the animals are all around you all the time. And we're always, you know, I don't know. I think that might be part of her message.
Yeah, I'm getting that she wants you to really open up to any animal and not just her. And it's like you have the skills, you have the awareness. So to just start really connecting on whatever animal you come across. They're going to come across in different formats, in different ways. That bird that crosses your path, the squirrel that crosses your path, connect in with them. Start just tuning in. To use that muscle a little bit to get comfortable with it. And just the more you start to do that, and then you can use her as kind of the bridge to maybe help you find that way to connect with these other animals. Like just ask her to say, okay, can you help me connect with this animal, this bird? And, you know, so that she's able to be a kind of an assistant for you to help you as you get comfortable with the process. But she's like very much, you know, you've got this, you can do it. You just have to start trusting yourself and doing it. And again, there's no right or wrong. Right. All of us here can know that, you know, we all do things differently. There's no right or wrong with this. And what you're feeling is probably what's coming through. So just start to trust yourself more. And so she just kind of is trying to encourage you to spread your wings a little bit and to trust this process, and that she's always there if you need some assistance to ask for her help.
Great.
I'm getting that she's coming now because you have made the choice to open your soul and begin this work. And so she said, oh, she's saying at long last, I've been waiting and waiting.
Yeah, finally.
And she's, and I agree with what Carolyn said, don't even try to think about reading your own animals because you're too emotionally attached. But a ladybug, a crow, just stop and just be in the moment, allow yourself to just meld into that animal and see, and you'd be surprised, like, what did you say? You know, so, but the messages are there if you're willing to listen, but don't be afraid to try. Most of us here, all of us, I would dare say, all have made terrible mistakes in what we thought we heard and what was probably not the right thing we heard, but but just jump in with both feet. Try it, take some classes, lots and lots of cool books are available on the great animal communicator people that have gone before, and just try all the little things that they give you. I mean, because it's all out there, and the more you grow into it, the more confident you'll get. But I have to laugh at her. She's like, I've been waiting. How long? Almost like, you know, what do they call witch's cat? They're not.
Oh,
their
familiars.
Familiar.
They're familiars.
She wants to be your familiar on the other
Okay.
side. Okay. And she's going to be with you constantly. Like Carolyn said, she's going to be with you constantly. And every time you try a reading and do a communication, she's going to be right there like, good job, good job. Wait,
Aw.
you know, I see a little paw on your shoulder, like, good job. So
That's
yeah.
sweet. Thank you.
She's a sweetheart. Wow. Yeah, cool.
I was saying, in addition to taking classes, and some of these practitioners might take classes, if you find a practitioner that you really resonate with, you can also talk to them about doing an internship, or there's all kinds of ways that
Oh,
you can.
yeah.
Yeah. And I agree
Cool,
with
thank you.
practicing with animals all around. And it's great to practice where you have people connected to the animals too. So if they're willing to give you feedback on what you share. So it's really all practice and learning to trust yourself and learning to listen to the subtleties. So yeah. Great.
Awesome. Thank you
Do
so much.
you have anything you want to share of, like, did you have things come through for you for the readings tonight? Like, were you doing some of that practicing today by any chance?
I also love Rescue Remedy and think that I've used it with my other animals and with my other humans, and especially in the time that the world's in right now, I highly agree with that. It's a really helpful to work with the plant medicines that way, and so gentle, and how animals are so sensitive that we can't necessarily give them the same things that we give humans, but the plant essence can even just be sprayed over the animals, and the water droplets will also calm them. So I just agree with all of that. Everything's been great.
Yeah, and so you probably just, I know that animals may be the path that you're wanting to go, but you probably also connect with plants too. So all kinds of living creatures you connect with. And so that may be part of the animals and the plants and the healing of that together.
Yeah. And I just finished a painting, because I also do painting, yesterday. And there's like 5 different animals and a human all mixed together. And the title that came to me was Sacred Relations. So that's going along with whatever all you guys are saying.
That's great, right? So name of your business, Sacred Relations, and then the other word that you mentioned, or like different names of like just how your practice and things like that. Yeah, great. It's great. And there are a number of practitioners too. You've probably seen them in some of the events. They have artwork that's part of how they do their readings. And so just all different kinds of ways that these things can mix together.
Oh, cool.
So I just want to tap in and give you a clap, because you're finally on your spiritual journey, which is to be a spiritual teacher. And you've always known that inside your heart, you know that, right? Okay. So yeah, just know that the career change is moving forward, and you can work as an accountant for an animal group, nonprofit. That'll get you right into the fundraising part and the other side of being able to bring people and animals together. Yes. And then I'm going to encourage you to study totem animals. It's a shamanistic journey. And I don't know if you have the medicine cards by Jamie.
Definitely. I've had them since I was a little kid.
Okay. And so I'm going to suggest, as one teacher to another, that you open the deck and ask which animal wants to teach you today, and sit with that animal.
Wonderful.
And then watch what happens during the day, what synchronicities come in to show you that you've related to that animal and the wisdom it's sharing.
Thank you, Cindy.
You're
Thank
welcome.
It's funny that you just said that, because this whole time I've been thinking, what you described, there are so many synchronicities happening, and it sounds like you recognize that, but I would say just honor that and like put your attention there, because it sounds like everything is lining up that way. And I feel like Friendly is kind of like a guardian angel for you. I feel like she was here when you were little to take care of you, and she's never left. So she's still just checking in, like, I'm still here. I still, you know, I'm still taking care of you. So I just wanted to say that I very much think that she's with you, and the synchronicity of her showing up at this time and just reminding you that you're following the right path.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
All right, great. Thank you so much, Ruby, sorry. Yeah, thank you so much. Lovely question. Yeah, fun. All right. Well, Anissa, and by the way, Anissa is our assistant. She helps with so many of our events and so much of my work. And I love, Anissa, that you want to ask a question. Come on up.
Hello, everyone. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah.
So I have a question about my cat, and I don't know, he's with me right now, so I don't know who would want to see him or not, but I can bring the webcam down. Donna, close your eyes. So this is my cat, Belvedere.
Oh.
And I just want to know how he's doing. This guy has been with me through a lot, and the last couple of years, I was very focused on one of my kitties who was passing away from kidney failure. And shortly after he passed, then my other kitty was going through some health issues. So Belvedere here, he's, yeah, I'm talking about you. He's been along for the ride and, you know, offering me love, and I offer him love. But I kind of feel like I've been maybe neglecting some of his needs or wants. And I was just curious if anyone was receiving anything that he'd like to share. Oh, that's funny that you say king talent. He is very prissy, and so we call him Princess Belvedere. His other nickname is, a pardon, I'm going to swear, but it's Bitch Mittens, because he is so just like prissy, feisty, arrogant, but such a lover at the same time.
How old is he, Anissa?
We think he's around 14. We're not quite sure.
Set in his ways then.
Oh, yes. But in the last few years has become such a lover. Before that, he was pretty aloof. Like he would pay attention and hang out with me, but now he loves hanging out with me.
I'll start if that's okay.
Yeah,
the first thing I'm picking up from him is old soul, like Egypt, like back in the days where he was quite the, he was worshipped. He was a king. He was a very special cat. He had a lot of interesting energies around him, and he's now, he's kind of remembering that in this life, but he's also mellowing. He's really finding that he's realizing he doesn't have to work so hard and be so demanding and everything like this. He's really settling in with you, and he feels so loved, and so he trusts you so much, and he feels so supported. And so he's there to help you and to bring in that kind of energy. So he wants you to take up that kind of regal energy. He's like, okay, I've been carrying this now, and it's your turn to start carrying some of this energy yourself.
Oh, thank you.
He's a real love. Oh my God, he's just so he's quite something.
I would second that. I feel like he is finally letting his guard down a little bit, because he had a job to do. I feel like he was really working, and he was always very aware of what was going on. Like he was looking out for the whole family, including the other cats. So he felt this sense of responsibility. So I don't think that he felt neglected. He felt like he was doing his job. Oh. And so now he can relax a little bit, and he's really enjoying getting the attention. But I think before he wouldn't have allowed himself that. He was trying to be responsible and and really watch out for everyone else. So I think it's nice that he's finally getting the attention, getting some of the me time now. And I feel like he is kind of finally starting to let his guard down a little bit and not feel like he has to be watching out for everyone all the time.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
Yeah, Anissa, he feels to me, I keep thinking in movie terms because that's part of my background, but he feels like the Sam Elliott of cats. He's been through so much,
Oh, I
and
love that.
oh, good, because he's just been through so much, and he's there to support you, but he does feel like he has loosened up in letting his guard down a little bit more. But you responded to Sam Elliott, so you understand that correlation. He's just calm and cool, and everybody's doing their things, and he's all right. And he's just there to help, to support you now, to be your support, to let you focus on him. He understood that the other cats were in crisis, and he didn't have that ego in the way saying, no, it's got to be me. But he's like, no, okay, we're good. Let's keep going and let's be fine.
Thank you.
And this, I got exactly the same thing, word for word, the others thing. And I got that he was helping with the trauma and the energy with the other animals. And he took on that responsibility, but now he has relinquished that responsibility, and he's relaxing. But it's so funny. He was standing on a ledge, like at your kitchen, like if he was on a stool by the kitchen counter, and he put his two paws on the kitchen counter, and he was just staring at you, and he was saying, okay, it's your turn. You get it now? Because I am stepping away, kind of like a CEO saying, okay, next person in line to take over. So
okay,
asking you to admit that he can, just tell him it's okay, go guy, we'll take care of everything from here on out. You done good, Bessie, as my grandma would say.
Thank you, Donna.
I'm just going to add one thing. And what I hear your cat saying is, this is in reference to you. You overthink. And I'm here to keep you relaxed. So let's stay chill.
Okay. Thank you so much. Yeah, he hangs out with us during fairs. Now that I have this bed, and so you might see him pop up, and it's just hard for him to stay away. He doesn't use this bed during the summer because it's heated, because I spoil my babies. But when he comes in from outside, then he's all about getting in this warm bed. So you'll probably see more of him as the winter progresses.
He's our little mascot.
I didn't hear all of your question about him, but I was so looking at his eyes when you showed us his eyes. And I'm thinking he's got the king, scholar, and priest. It could be priest, scholar, king, or king, scholar, priest, or something like that. So he's got some of the scholar seriousness, like there's a little stiffness, like a little bit of not as connected to his body in some ways, is my sense. Priest is often very spiritually connected. And king, he's just very powerful. There's a lot of intensity that comes through his eyes. Just a lot of strength. Does that make any sense?
Yeah, a lot of sense. Thank you.
Cool. All right, practitioners, anything else? Are we all set? All right, well, so I'm going to put the link in the chat again for people to fill out the feedback form if you'd like to do that for us. I'll put the practitioner's information in the chat again too. And then practitioners, if you could just go around and say again just your name and what you do and how people can find you online, that would be great. Go ahead, whatever order you'd like to go.
Someone? I can go first this time. Sorry. I'm Denise Dunleavy. I'm an animal communicator. I also do animal massage, and I do readings for people. And you can reach me at my website. It's intuitivedenise.com, and my name is spelled D-E-N-I-S-E. Thanks.
Hi, I'm Cindy McGonagle, and I'm a psychic medium, and I do animal communication as well. I also am a palmist. You can send me photos of your right and your left hand, and I can do a palm reading online. And I totally enjoyed working with everybody tonight. Thank you so much. Again, it's cindymcgonagle.com. Thank you.
I'm Carolyn Osborn, energy intuitive of Chiron Energy Medicine, and I work with people and animals as well. I am a certified energy medicine practitioner for both, certified medical intuitive and animal communicator. And you can find out all information about me at my website, Chiron Energy Medicine, which is CHIRON energymedicine.com. And I'm offering a 20% discount with the code MeWe, the letter D20 on my website. So, and also a free consultation. So if you want to ask any questions, you can do that too. And thank you so much.
I'm Donna Sauer. I do animal communication, animal healing, medical intuitive help with animals crossing over and discerning what their divine purpose is and being with you in this lifetime and also after they've crossed over. If you would like to have a reading with me outside of the fair, I charge $40 for an entire session, and then I email you the entire results. The place to get hold of me is at email. It's a dr.DLSAUER@gmail.com. Hope to hear from you, and I surely enjoyed this evening. It was great.
Hey, I'm Susy Parker Goins with Blue Lightning Healing. I'm a channel, a kind of spiritual facilitator to help you connect with your guides and your pets tonight. And so you can gain tools and techniques so that you can continue to work on your own and find your path. So I'll be with you all the way. I have a podcast called Blue Lightning Healing Meditations that's on Amazon Music and Spotify and about 8 other platforms. I have a YouTube channel, Blue Lightning Healing Meditations. You can find me on Facebook at Blue Lightning Healing. And the best way to get a hold of me is Susy P. Goins, that's SUSYPGOINS @gmail.com. I've got a special today, 30 minutes for $45 and 60 minutes for $75 to look at past lives, energy blockages, whatever you need that we can do together so that we can move you forward. Thanks so much. I love doing these things. Thanks, Laureli, and thank you all other practitioners too. And thank you, attendees. Talk to you later.
Great. Have all of you shared? Okay, great. And I'm Laureli Shimayo. I'm an intuitive eye reader, body psychology coach, matchmaker. You can learn more about me at LaureliShimayo.com. That's LaureliShimayo. I do a complimentary intro session if you'd like to have a chance to chat with me and learn about what I do and share what you're looking for, and we can see if there's a fit. I'll give you some samples of my work. And then from being at this event, if you'd like to sign up for a session, you can get about a 40% discount. My rates typically by the hour are $150, but if you want to do an hour from being here, it's only $90 an hour. So that's a great price. If you want to do something small with me, just do like 10 minutes, it's only $25. So the information was listed in the chat. It's like 25 for 10 minutes, 45 for 20 minutes, 60 for 30 minutes, or $90 an hour. Yeah, so if you come to the panels, if you're hearing this on a recording and you want to come to another one, come. You'll get to not only learn about the theme and open to your intuition and practice, you get specials with the practitioners that are here. So great. Come for more of our events. We're at MeWeFairs.com, MEWEFAIRS.com. And for those of you here today, I posted in the chat too some of our upcoming events. We've got Divination for Discovery. And so we're going to work with divination with physical objects on Friday, December 11. And then we have another one of our metaphysical and wellness fairs in the middle of the night. So we'll be in Australia time on December 18. That's a Friday, Thursday night, Friday morning. And then we have a fair with 16 practitioners at regular hours here in the US on Saturday, December 19. 2 more panels we have are Finding Your Light, a MeWe Awakening panel for solstice, crystal heal, and that's Saturday, December 20. Crystal healing panel coming up on Saturday, December 26. And I've been scheduling more panels as we've been here tonight. We've got, let's see. We've got energy forecast for the new year on January 2, mediumship, connecting with lost loved ones on January 6, heal your inner child on January 11, spiritual bypassing January 16, energetic and channeling divination on January 22. And I'm right now, let's see, I know January 30th, I've got one panel on love. It's going to be with Kirsten and Heather and myself. We've been doing them together in Portland for years. It's the first time Kirsten's going to be sharing her work by video. So it's been a long year, and Kirsten has that king talent that we were just talking about that's in Belvedere. And then we're going to do another panel. I think I'm deciding Friday, February 12th, we'll do another panel on love. So, and I need practitioners for a whole bunch of these other fairs too. So great. It's been so lovely being here with you. These animal panels are just amazing, like the energy that we hold in the space and the readings we do. It's just so much fun, so exciting. And I just love the interweaving. Well, thank you everyone for being here, and we look forward to being with you again soon. And oh gosh, if anyone has any just general questions about animal healing communication, we could probably answer a couple really quick. If anyone has any, just go ahead. I know some other questions. Oh, there was one in the chat. Daniel had one in the chat. He asked if, I think if just as people have guides maybe, or other other things that help them cross over, do animals have that too? And about how animals sometimes have really hard ways that they pass through. And I said, I thought probably so, but I don't know. So practitioners, what do you know about that?
I can only tell you what I've seen. One was a lady wanted to know if her husband, who had crossed over, would be there for her little dog that was getting ready to cross. And I was shown this man just standing there with his hands out, waiting for the dog to come. And the other thing that I saw was that a little pug that crossed over, there was a complete semicircle of pugs just sitting there waiting for him to walk in, and behind them was a circle of angels. So yes, definitely they're there, they're helping them. And very often if they have, if the animal has a mother and father that has crossed over, they're the first ones there to be walked beside them as they cross over.
Anyone else have anything to share just about that?
Okay, go ahead.
Sorry, just that when I've talked to animals that have passed, they will often tell me who they're with. So I don't necessarily think of it as a guide, but sometimes they'll tell me that they're with someone else that has already passed.
From my own personal experience, you know, I find that the animals who have been in your family that are on the other side often wait for the next animal to come forward into the spirit world. And so you can find comfort in knowing that whatever pet you have will find love waiting for it. Okay. And so nobody's left behind, you know, and animals on the other side definitely come back to help as helpers to us when we're ready to receive their information and work with them. In the crossing over process, sometimes it takes a while before you're ready to actually hear from your animal that's crossed over. And so it just takes time, you know. The grieving process can take a long time. So just be patient with yourself when you're in that process, and know that you will see your animal again. Trust me, you will.
And I agree. I think they definitely, if you've had other animals, they will be waiting for any new ones coming across. They are there to help you, both people and the animals. So they are not alone.
All right, thank you. Any other general questions? I know other people are talking about related experiences and things like that. And yeah, all right, great. Thank you everyone for being here with us. Thank you practitioners. Thank you everyone for all your questions, and we look forward to more. All right.